Mass Effect, you my boy. He knows what's going on.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our fortnightly Q&A, which we call Ask and Answer. We should probably call it Q&A or something, shouldn't we? Brad, Jake, Jordo.
Hey.
You ask questions about video games and we answer them.
To the best of our ability.
Which is amazing. Our ability is unparalleled.
Usually pretty inadequate, but that's fine.
Look, I think we are probably the best game journalists broadcasting live on Facebook from Jordo's house.
Right Sunday
now.
morning at 10 o'clock. I agree.
Unparalleled. Let's
Pretty
do
good.
it.
It's a pretty hefty time slot. Okay, so we'll kick off with a question from YouTube. Astro25 asks, and I'm looking at you, Jordo. Do you have any favourite or unusual memories of arcade games growing up, e.g. in the 80s or the 90s? Now, a couple of Astros in particular were playing Black Tiger, Twin Cobra, Raiden, and something called Time Traveler as well. So
Games.
Yes.
Okay, games. Look, I actually do remember quite fondly up in Rundle Mall, Dazzleland.
Oh,
Dazzleland.
the tokens.
The tokens, yeah.
man.
So I was, we had a Tandy electronics shop in the city. So I was a young fella scooting around the town, and I used to go to Dazzleland a lot. And so that's actually where I played one of the virtual reality ones where it had like a slip mat. You'd have to push the mat.
Oh, no way.
Like, yeah. That's a memory in itself. But I do recall a memory. So my mom, used to talk to customers, and found this one customer that had a little son about my age, and she's like, "Oh, they should play together." Yeah, no worries. So I'm like, "Mate, how much money can you get?" So I remember he got a 20 off his mother. We went to Dazzleland, blew it all on, I'm pretty sure, Mortal Kombat. Never saw him again. So there you go.
Yeah. Okay,
How far did $20 go back then? Like, was that like
pretty
4
far.
hours of
Yeah, it was
gaming?
hours, man. Hours. Good
that,
times.
That beats anything I've got. I did once acquire a tenner.
Yep.
And went down to the local deli, which had Wonder Boy and Monsterland.
Oh my.
Oh, nice.
20 cents a crack.
Yep.
All $10, start to finish. Finished the game.
Really?
Brilliant.
Damn.
Got a belting. Absolute belting.
Do you know, actually, I saw one of those actual original units for sale the other day, $650.
Oh,
Yeah.
bit much.
Okay, so we'll move on to some of the other questions we've got from you Facebookites. That's a word.
Yep.
We're
just now.
going to start with Chris's question. So aimed pretty squarely at Bradley. And he asks, is Hollow Knight actually that good, or do you rate it better just because it's made in Adelaide?
It's a very fair question because you absolutely, I think people can feel closer to something if there's a proximity to it. It's tribalism. It's very well documented. Everyone knows about that. Absolutely not. If anything, I think I was probably harsher on it because I was worried about being favourable to it. Much like I think I'd be harsher on Mass Effect as I reviewed it because I've got a predisposition to liking it. It is that good. It is the best game I have played in the last 2 years.
I guess it is a good
Wow.
question because you'd want to think of it in terms of being as impartial as you can to a game and being critical of the game. If it deserves to be criticised, then it gets it. So it is probably a bit harder for me because it's not my style of game. So it's not one of my favourite games of all time. But I did initially feel a little bit obligated to give it a go where I wouldn't have. So that, for me, made me at least play the game. And I still want to play the game. So for me, for someone that's not a fan of a genre or a style of game, to know the developers and to be close to that, it probably makes me want to play the game more. Definitely still be critical, though.
Yeah, and I think you have to. I mean, as much
You
as...
have to,
Yeah,
yes.
like the guys from Team Cherry, they're really nice guys. I want to see Adelaide developers succeed, but I'm more interested... The worst thing that can possibly happen is me tell you this is an incredible game. You go and play it. You think it's crap. You never listen to anything I say ever again. So that's... Yeah. But seriously, it's better than a game I've played this year, and it's better than any game I played last year. It is phenomenal.
There you go.
I will just... The asterisk with that is I haven't played Zelda yet, which is obviously the gorilla in the room at the moment. And...
Yeah.
I reckon that or Red Dead 2 are probably the only things I can think of that may stop it from getting my personal game of the year. But we'll see.
That's fair enough.
We'll see. Yeah.
Asked and answered. Next question is from Brendan H, and he's asked, how long do you think EA until EA shuts Bioware. But some backstory on the whole EA shutting down companies that they take over. We've got Maxis, which is SimCity, Mythic for Dark Age of Camelot, Warhammer Age of Reckoning, Bullfrog Origin, and a bunch of other ones.
Mate, there's some pretty big ones there.
Well, you go through
What about Westwood?
Westwood. Sounds good. Oh,
yeah, there we go.
Yeah, okay.
There we go.
Ding, 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 ding.
So EA have a history of buying and shutting down major studios with huge IPs, including SimCity, Command & Conquer.
Need for Speed.
Yes, Need for Speed's one as well. Which is horrible that they do that.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good question because I think it's a legitimate concern. BioWare, you would have thought 3 or 4 years ago, immune to that. Now, not so much. The last Dragon Age was a good game, but it was bloated. It was too big. There's too much going on. Didn't sell incredibly well. Mass Effect is by far better than the vast majority of people are reporting, in my opinion. However, the negative criticism is what it hasn't sold as well because people have like to kick it, and I think that puts BioWare in a precarious position. They've got their 2 major IPs are in a little bit of strife.
Yep.
I'm just looking at some of the other ones like Origin, for example, the Ultima series. Obviously shut down, and now they've got Ultima, one of the new Ultimas coming out, where the core team from that development studio has gone and made their own anyway, and they're continuing the series. Do you think that doesn't still just open up the option for BioWare to go out on their own?
Look, absolutely, but it's like is it Paradox Entertainment? I could be getting this wrong. They made Tyranny just recently. They make the Pillars of Eternity, Path of Exiles, Pillars of Eternity games, which are great games. And so these guys are in a similar situation, but for them, they're from Black Isles. Many of them were BioWare. So they've had to kickstart games. And there's a really interesting documentary available on Path of Exiles, how... Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah.
PoE.
Yeah. You pick which one.
Yeah. How the game almost didn't get made, and they were working on a game, and the publisher pulled out on it, and they had to lay people off. And it's a really good insight into how all this stuff that we look at from the outside and don't pay much attention to. These guys' livelihood were put at risk. So yeah, it might happen with BioWare, but if it does, then we don't get another Mass Effect 3. An incredibly glorious story that sweats on. But at the same time, maybe BioWare is suffering from a bit of bloat.
I've had enough of your disingenuous assertions.
From Lauren, this is a great one. So, most memorable death scene in a game, I'd imagine.
Yes.
Very
I have
easy.
two because I'm a cheat.
Go for it.
You have to pick one.
Do I?
Yeah, one,
I'm
and then
not playing.
afterwards we'll go.
Oh, okay.
You're
okay.
out.
I got to kick off for one.
Yeah.
That means you can't have it though once I've used it.
Shh, it's gonna be mine, isn't it?
The Walking Dead.
Oh, thank goodness.
Telltale.
That's all right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Right towards the end.
What was his name?
Lee.
Oh, are we spoilering?
Spoilering. If you haven't watched The Walking Dead, if you haven't played The Walking Dead,
If you've been
Telltale
dead,
one, the game that's been out for 5 years now, then stop listening for 2 seconds when Lee dies.
Yep.
Yes.
Very sad.
Fair enough.
Very sad. Very emotional moment.
Okay. There is a number of them. The one that sort of springed words came to mind first is Bloodwing from
Good one.
Borderlands. Borderlands 2.
2.
Yeah, so that was one of those pivotal moments where you're like, oh. So that's mine.
Jordan's got a bit of a different take on this, don't
Yeah,
you?
look, Lauren does say death scene, so that's like an in-game, like it's a cutscene. I don't have those in my style of game, so it's very...
Because he has no emotions.
Zero. For me, it's, I guess, when I play my MMOs, when I play my Arma 3s, and I've spent 30, 40 hours, getting the money together to buy the best style tank in the game, and then I get ambushed, and that's when I get crushed, and it physically makes me sick sometimes when I've spent so much time. Eve players probably the same when they get their
I'd say while you were talking, it's exactly what I was thinking.
I get crushed, because I've been flanked or just something's gone wrong, and that for me is when I get the feels on.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
A question from Thomas is, how many hours has Brad spent in Mass Effect Andromeda? Now, go ahead.
10.
10 hours. How long's it been out for, Brad?
2 weeks.
Yep. That's disgraceful. And Tom, how many hours have you spent in it, Tom?
He said that he'd spent 20
Yeah,
when
nice.
he asked the question.
Nice. Yep, there you go.
So it's probably more now.
He's not devastated at all.
No, I've just been very, very busy working on
I don't want excuses, Brad. I want results.
some reviews to get the information out to you. Can't all spend 40 hours playing Zelda.
Well, I can.
Yeah, no, not enough. So I've got a few more reviews that I am working on at the moment. So hopefully, week after the week coming, I will be able to put some stuff down and really hook into it.
Nice.
Hopefully. Have played some multiplayer though. Still surprisingly good.
Did you play? Have you played Andromeda yet?
Nope.
I wasn't sure if you were jumping on it as well. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
me
not
either.
right now.
When you're finished with it, I might try it.
I got it on Xbox.
I'll better get an Xbox gem. So the next question from Mully. What was the last game you played without knowing anything about it, which you loved or was surprised you in some way?
I'll go
Or had
first.
surprised you?
Go.
Hours Awakening.
I thought you would say
nice.
that.
Okay, yeah,
truly
very good.
Nothing about this game. Turned it on, heard the music, and went, "Ooh, 8-bit style reminds me of NES, you know." And it plays really well.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got a review key for that, and I didn't know what it was, so I chucked it in there and I loaded it up, and I was quite surprised by how much I love it. But within 20 seconds, I'm like, Jordan needs to play
Yeah, yeah, and I loved it. You know,
Yeah.
it's a brilliant game. Have a look at it if you haven't already.
Nice.
this. Do you have a?
I've got two, but I'll let you go while I try and decide which one.
Well, this is really difficult because as a general rule, I know a lot about games before I buy them. I read reviews. I follow news articles. I'm not someone who likes to
Going blind.
Yeah, like I'll go in spoiler free. Like I don't want plot points or stuff like that. But generally speaking, I like to know what I'm spending my hard-earned money on. So it's going to be Expand, which was a game I knew nothing about, except that it had been made in South Australia. That's all I knew. So and the dev actually sent me a key for it, but I'd already bought it, so we gave the key away to someone.
Yep.
Phenomenally good game. And Mully, I'm sure you've played it because you're all over the indie games, but phenomenally good game. Real short, 2-3 hour experience.
Great music.
Great music, great atmosphere, the whole thing. You should check it out. We do it at the Indie Game Spotlight. You can go and
Click.
look. Not yet, after the A&A. Go and watch the Indie Game Spotlight on Expand. It is fantastic. $7. If it wasn't going to be that, though, it would have been Hacknet. And if it wasn't Hacknet, it would have been High Night. It would have been... My answer is there are
Every indie
incredibly
game.
great indie games made in
yes.
Australia that we
Yep.
don't hear about because they're not plastered on the sides of buses. And while I say I'm disappointed that I haven't played more Mass Effect, in that time I've been playing Hacknet. I'm about to play Paradigm. Before that I played Hollow Knight. We've got Forts is just about to come out. These games are incredibly good, incredibly diverse. Support local, please.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly how I'm thinking as well, because AAAs or AA's, it's almost impossible to get something released that you don't know something about. So it almost has to be, not has to be, but it's usually going to be focused on indie games, I think, for me. So my two, number one, since you've already stolen my number two, is probably Icebox. So
Oh.
knew very, very little about it until we had a chat to Carmen.
Yep.
And
Carmen.
Carmen. Yes.
Sorry, Carmen.
And got to do some speed running in particular when we were all getting to sit together and play that game. It was fantastic.
That was a lot of fun, wasn't it? Yeah.
The only other one that probably Icebox is number one. Number two is probably Retrovision as well. So again, another indie game too. Yeah.
Yeah, which is out soon.
Yes. I need this. I need this in my life.
Tom said the Stanley Parable.
Oh, fantastic!
Good
Well
choice.
done. Very good.
Very good
Very
choice. Very good
yes.
choice. And Andrew said that he finished the DLC for Hacknet last night. It's good, wasn't it, mate? Very good. I thought it was better than the main game. So, which means I'm hopeful about what he's going to do next.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll reach out. We'll have a chat to Matt, and we'll see what he's working on.
Last question.
Last question already.
Last question. Yes, we've ripped through them today.
We have.
From Chris, if you could go, I like this one too.
Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah, if you could go behind the scenes, if you could get behind the scenes footage of an entire game, what would it be? I kind of read it as if I could be in the behind the scenes stuff of a game being made.
You mean with the devs?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Oh, if you're going to be with the devs, it'd have to be EVE Online.
no,
Because
wrong.
those guys drink like you would not believe.
Fair point. I'm in.
But if you just wanted to watch it, so for mine personally, mine was GTA 5.
Oh, okay.
For a couple of reasons. I think it'd be pretty cool to hang out with some of those voice actors.
Yeah. Yep.
I'd love to see their creative process behind some of the wacky stuff that they put in the game, some of the humor. But also, it's a phenomenally successful game because it's incredible quality, and I think there must be a culture in that workplace.
Has to be.
I'd really like to experience. I'd like to see how they go about their business.
Yeah.
And then go back to my day job and
Cry in the corner.
non-stop. But yeah, I just think that would be phenomenal to see. Phenomenal.
Jordo.
Alien Isolation.
Oh, you filthy! That's yeah.
Yeah.
That's you for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Alien franchise, Alien v Predator, all that stuff. Predator. But yeah, that's one I really, really enjoyed that game, and I'd love to see how they incorporate, how they get the specimens from like the movies into the game, and I love that stuff.
I think something like that too would be really. I mean, obviously they have to do product testing on something like that. That would be interesting to see, like getting people that are playing things for the first time to see. Yeah. Is this scary enough? Does that work?
Yeah.
That would be really interesting.
Yep.
So that's mine. Alien Isolation.
Nice. Yeah, it's tricky
It
because
is
I've
tricky.
got 3. Two of them
Here
are
we go.
pretty
I had
much
two
points.
before, and it's like, no, pick
Dot
one.
points.
2 of them are pretty much in the same category because of a particular actor that's involved in them. One of them is Full Throttle.
Yep.
Because I would love
How
to
is
see...
Mark? We haven't spoken to Mark for a while.
Mr. Hamill, we miss you. Please write us soon. So yeah, Full Throttle or maybe one of the Wing Commanders as well. Wing Commanders because it's like live action stuff and you can... It's a bit more...
You know, that was made by Origin that was bought by EA.
I don't... Yeah.
And they shut it down.
That's unfortunate. So,
Wing Commander 4, Price of Freedom.
I mean, there's this little thing called Star Citizen now that you can probably get hold of, which is also made by the same guy that did Wing Commander.
Yeah, okay, we'll see. And it's got Mark Hamill.
It does. Anyway, moving right
Yeah,
on.
it does.
It does? Mark Hamill?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, why am I questioning that?
Mate, you think...
Oh, of course he was. It was Gary Oldman is who I was thinking of as well, because he's also in it.
Okay.
Anyway, so my current genre one would be Witcher 3.
Yep.
One, because I'm really curious to see what Triss and a few of the other voices are actually like. And also the music behind it. Like being involved in that production side of things, because it's got, by far, I don't care what Jeremy says, by far the best soundtrack I've ever come across in a game. I don't care what either of you guys talk about either. So, yeah. That's just done. Actually, ask us that next week and asked and answered.
Yes.
That's a good one.
What is the best soundtrack in video games? You tell us. Let us know. Mm-hmm. Witcher 3? You got to be something retro.
I can't pick right now.
Yeah.
It's too hard.
Yeah. It'd have to be, for me, probably one of the Mass Effects. Probably 3. I reckon.
Yeah, you know what? This question came up some time ago, and I put down Monkey Island.
Yeah.
I love bit retro.
Yeah, and it's got that little chip
Yeah.
tune type.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a little bit twisted, but that's me.
Yeah. Yep. I'll rescind my answer. Maybe Abby. Abby had a great.
Oh, that was good. Yes.
All right.
Another fantastic indie game. Indie game. Yes.
Tell us.
I think that probably
That's it.
wraps it up for our questions. If no one else is asking on the book face.
No, we got nothing.
No, Tom, nothing else before we sign off, mate?
No, he's just gloating about his 20 hours. But
Yeah, I know. Doubled your... Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, a bit harsh.
But that was good. Enjoyed this one.
That's it. That's a wrap. We're done.
We're done.
Yeah, done.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Make sure, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Ask us questions in the comments below, like the one we had to start off with about the retro.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. We like it. We like it a lot. Yeah, like, subscribe, tell your friends. We're done. We're out. Thank you very much.
Bye.
See ya.